just out and about today, getting our steps in. Got to get 14,000 steps, and started off this walk at about 8,000. So, gonna have a bit of walking to do today. But I figured, why don't we just walk and talk and just see what comes to mind. So, here we are. It's cold. I don't know what the hell happened with the weather. But someone left the freezer door open and it is just cold. There's penguins and panda bears running all over the place. It's brr cold. I mean, it is wow. But anyway, that wind chill factor is killer. Anyway, let's not dwell on the cold Irish weather. I love this place. I'm honored to call it my home. So I'm not going to complain too much. But what I wanted to talk about is when I started my walk, I was just thinking about the day as it was. And the thing that really bounced out of me today is you take your weight, you weigh yourself every single morning. Looked down at the weight this morning, wasn't very happy with it, but just get on with the business, especially under it being for the competition, all that sort of stuff. And I was in the posing room this morning. No, it's afternoon, a big one. Sorry about all the traffic noise. And I was looking at my physique, and there's a lot more veins coming out of my shoulders, midsection, all that good stuff. And that doesn't happen because water weight's just dropping. Yes, water weight does have a bit of an impact with it, but that's body fat coming off. And it made me realize, but it just reaffirmed what I've always said, is that, that scale is not the determining factor of whether you're making progress. Because normally, and me last year, would have probably been freaking out because the scale hasn't been moving the way I wanted to go, or it's not going as quickly as I wanted to go. And, I'd be thinking, oh, this thing's not working. I'm not doing anything right. Um, all these sort of things and these negativities. And it's just not true. It's just not the fact. You are dropping body fat. You are making progress. What we should be asking ourselves when the scale doesn't move or when it just flies up there is, well, what happened yesterday? And sit down and have a think about it. And it's like, did I have a good bowel movement yesterday? I know it's disgusting, but it's a fact of life. Did I have a lot of salty food yesterday? How was my sleep? Did I actually get a good night's sleep? Was my stress levels a bit more elevated than normal? Was my hydration on point? Hydration plays a huge role in this. What are the other factors? I mean, there's so many that plays into it. What did I actually eat? Sometimes there are certain foods that affect our RAA systems and just throws out of whack. And it's so important just to reflect back and have a look at the day that was and say, well, this happened or that happened, and that's why the scale did what it did. So you sort of justify it, you sort of find a conclusion. Or better yet, if you know that you've been on point, that you hit your steps, that you did your cardio if you need to do cardio, you ate the food you were meant to eat, and you didn't go off plan and get 80% of your foods, and you got your 80% score across the board, because remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just got to have an 80% scale when you're doing a lifestyle transformation. Then screw it. For whatever reason, your body decided, I'm going to hold on to water today or yesterday, and that's going to be the end of it. And then sometimes, the body's just going to hold on to water, and we have what is known as a whoosh effect. What's the whoosh effect, you might be asking? Well, the theory goes that as you are dropping body fat, your body starts preserving or starts storing water where that fat was. All right, as a sort of a survival mechanism. Because now you're losing a very precious resource, which is body fat. So it's going to store the most precious resource for the body, and that's water. Right? Remember, 65% of our body is made up of water. So when we're like, all of a sudden, we're technically in some sort of a famine because now we can't eat as much. Um, we need to store more of our precious resources so it'll hold on to water. And then sometimes it'll hold on to water for 3 days, 7 days, seen it up to about 14 days. And then all of a sudden, it just releases that water and you drop 2, 3 kilos, maybe not 2 kilos overnight. So the body really will play games with you. So that's why I always say 3 measurements of whether you're progressing. 1, are you looking better in the mirror? 2, are actual physical measurements going down? And 3, is the scale weight going in the right direction? If you've got 2 out of 3, you're making progress. And the scale weight is probably going to be the most fickle one of them all. But for whatever reason, we've been programmed or taught that that is the fundamental metric that we need to be watching. I hate to break it to everybody, but it's probably the worst one. But we still need that data when it comes to our transformations, because like I said, it is just a indicator, but it's still a good indicator to have to see what is going on with the body and the physique. And that's pretty much all I've got to say today on our this walk and talk. So if you enjoyed that, please drop a like. If you learned something, comment what you learned, and yeah, just don't be a stranger. All right, I'm going to continue walking. I've got a lot more steps to do. Probably going to be out here doing a very long walk, probably for a while. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But I've got to hit that 14,000. That's all that matters right now. And I can have my last meal of the day, which is my Greek yogurt with blueberries and protein powder. One of my absolute favorites. It's sitting in the fridge for me, getting nice and cold. And I cannot wait to dig into that. But until next time, God bless, take care, and always put your weight away.